Now, this was very, very surprising to me. 7 out of 10 people take prescription drugs in the US. That's 70% of the population. That's crazy. If you're 45 and older, takes 4 prescription drugs in the US. That's insane. Now, listen, I'm not against medications, but you have to know that there are side effects with every single medication, and especially when you take multiple medications because they react with each other. You might be experiencing right now symptoms that are coming from side effects from the medication. And just as my disclaimer, I'm not telling you to come off any medications. Check with your doctor before coming off any medications and work with your doctor to come off your medications on a gradual basis, because some medications need to be tapered off on a gradual basis. Psychiatric drugs like lithium, prednisone, you come off too quickly, there's some problems. Opioids, but check with your doctor. I'm not the expert on medications. They are. All I'm going to say is that I think people are taking way too many prescription drugs, and there doesn't seem to be a long-term plan to come off those drugs. So this is some questions that I would recommend asking your doctor. What is the long-term plan with your medications? Is there any point where you're going to come off of them? That's the question that you want to ask. You want to get a plan. Or is it a permanent thing for the rest of your life, which does not make sense? And so the next question you want to ask your doc is, what is the actual cause of my symptom? And a lot of times they won't have an actual cause. In fact, it might be idiopathic, which means unknown cause. 90% of hypertension is idiopathic. They don't know. And I would also want to ask the doc, what are the long-term symptoms of these drugs? Are there other side effects that then are going to cause me to need another drug to treat the symptom of this drug? Ask a lot of questions. Now, this next question is very, very appropriate, simply because of the toxicity of drugs. I would ask your doctor, are you willing to help me wean off these medications? If they are, great. If they're not, you might want to find another doctor that's willing to work with you, especially if they don't have a long-term plan and they don't know the cause of your symptoms. But I want to say this one point, and this is very underemphasized. It's the diet. Now, for 30 years, I've worked with patients correcting their diet, and I would work with a lot of doctors, thousands of doctors, and they're just blown away at how a simple eating plan could greatly improve their symptoms, to the point where the need for medication came way down, to the point where many times they didn't need the medication anymore. But a lot of times there's just not this awareness from your doctor of the power of a change in diet can have over these symptoms. So before you start adding all these supplements and herbal things, I would highly recommend start with the basic diet. The one I'm going to recommend is in the link down below in the description. If you're new to my channel, might be a whole new thing, but it's very, very powerful. The next thing is to find an alternative, an herbal alternative or some natural remedy that has a proven record of helping that particular symptom. Now, I've done thousands of videos on this topic, so you can actually do a search and find out some good alternatives to use when dealing with a certain complaint. So just get with your doctor and just say, listen, we want to do a pilot. We want to do a test or an experiment to see if we can try an alternative remedy instead of the medication. See if you can work with them on this. And you might find that your doctor is very willing to work with you and it all works. And guess what? You're able to come off this medication and now you have a lot less toxicities flowing through your body. There are 3 supplements that may be helpful in the transition of coming off your medications, specifically because 2 of them work with the liver, and the other one is kind of a no-brainer because it addresses inflammation, and it can really drop inflammation and a lot of other symptoms pretty quick. So the first one is called TUDCA. This is a very specific type of bile salt that helps the liver drain properly. It can actually keep the toxins from accumulating in the liver as you come off your medication, so there'll be less withdrawal symptoms. And then milk thistle, which is a really good one for the liver as well. And then vitamin D. Those are the 3 ones that I highly recommend. as you make your transition off these medications with the help of your doctor.
So if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and share it with someone that could really benefit from it.